welcome back. Aries, this is going to be a reading for the week of March 24th. Not going to be for all of you. It's a general reading. For something specific to you, though, you can book a private reading when those reopen. I'll reopen them in April. If you haven't, check out my social media account links down in the description box below. And let's see what we got going on for you, Aries. So, overall energy is the Nine of Wands, which speaks about determination. I like that. To me, also, the Nine of Wands speaks about like having a goal and feeling like you're so close to it, but just not quite touching it yet. You know, so I heard wit's end. Some of you might be at your wit's end. I don't know. We'll see what that's about. So, recent past, Aries, Five of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. That's a lot of pentacles. Some of you most definitely might be dealing with an earth sign or fire, but we'll see. It's like if you have recently, in the recent past, experienced financial loss, I feel like that situation is going to rectify itself. You may have some new opportunities coming up here or some new money coming in that's owed to you, which is nice. As an energy, if this is not dealing with money or career, then I just feel like if you've been like in a lack mentality, meaning like not, when you're in a lack mentality, your mind goes to what's wrong instead of what's right first. And so I feel like a lot of you are working really hard and determined to pull yourself out of that thinking into more of an abundant thinking. So putting your focus more on what's right instead of what's wrong. And just to be very honest with you, that's one of the healthiest things you could do for your brain. And it also helps with law of attraction. So if you are working on that, continue to do that. Because I do see you making small like progress forwards with that mindset, mind frame. Okay. Let's see. So that's the recent past. Coming up here to start the week for you, Aries. Well, you have the Ten of Swords. Ow. The Nine of Swords. Ouch. And then the Fool, which I see as Aries in this deck. So, might be going through some endings this week. Might be a little bit stuck in your head, but you know what they say, one door closes, another one opens. You see how fast that transition happens? So I feel like if someone hurts you this week, hurts your feelings, betrays you, you know, you might get stuck in your head for a moment, but you see it does not last very long, Aries. So it's like quickly pulling yourself out of that. So it's like, remember what I just said about changing your mindset? You might have a setback at the very beginning of the week. And then you're like, wait, nope, that was the old me. This is the new me. Ain't gonna F with me this week. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what his face looks like. That's what I heard too. So we'll get all the cards out and see. Aries. Towards the end of the week, what can Aries expect here? Whoa, this is getting interesting. So you have the Seven of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, and then the Nine of Cups. So I'm going to break this down into groups in a minute to get really specific, but as a general energy, I feel like, yeah, towards the end of the week, it's just, then you go back into the sense of disappointment, this lack luster energy, focusing on the lack. Why? Okay, and then the Nine of Cups. So I'm going to have to clarify that one. So it's like you pull yourself out of it again. It's the same message over and over and over again. So it's like you start sinking back again. And then, let me see what this is. Yeah, there needs to be balance here. You're like I don't know what to call it. You're like a yo-yo right now. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. What's going on, Aries? Okay, if this isn't you, you might be dealing with someone like this. So on that note, let me break it down into groups. You can be in one of the groups, all of the groups, pick what resonates. Group 1. Some of you, this is pertaining most definitely to the work environment. Okay. You might have felt like, initially that you were kind of like left out or alone in, in the work environment. And now you've made some progress in like establishing who you are or where you're at in your role. Feeling in the recent past a little bit more balanced there. Okay, but then coming up in this week, you may be stressed out. You may hear about some endings in the workplace or some gossip. But either way, it kind of has you in your head. And then I feel like, Aries, you kind of flip the switch the next day and you're like, you know what? I'm just going to keep being me, keep doing me, keep working on what I've got to work on. And then you slip back again, into feeling bad. Some of you hurt somebody's feelings within the work environment, or they you, and that's all this is about. Like, somebody feels left out, like you said something that hurt them, or said something behind their back that hurt them, or someone did this to you, and it's like a lot of disappointment. But then, so that's like the office politics, but on the actual how you're doing in your career path is good. You're making progress. You're having new creative ideas. For a lot of you, this is, you're feeling comfortable, or this might be a job that you really hoped for. Okay, hold on. And I'm back. Sorry about that. I did not charge my phone. Okay. So like I said, yeah, this might have been a job you hoped for. But it's like, yeah, you're doing well, like I said, in like your career, you're meeting the metrics in the work environment, all that. But this is all like the office politics going on the side, and getting too involved in that, or somebody's like this around you, and it throws the energy off in the work environment. So don't involve yourself in that, okay? If that's what you're doing. So yeah, continue to focus on your work. Ignore the rest. So that's group 1. Group 2, this is a relationship. A relationship where either you left someone out in the cold or you were left out in the cold, okay? I feel like some of you, it's like there's a lot of fear messages here if you're in this group. So some of you fear that if you leave a relationship where maybe you no longer feel you want to invest in, that you're disappointed in, to pursue something new, to pursue your independence or a new person, It's all fear of loss of money, fear of hurting someone, fear of guilt, um, repercussions. And it's like you don't know what's going to happen if you do this, okay? So you don't have all the information here should you make this decision. Some of you may be coping by drinking or overindulging this week, to, I guess, like numb it out, or, you're like in your head so much. Quiet the thoughts or something to do with that. And it's just heavy concern, heavy fear. This is a fear-based lack type of thinking here. So, the overall message here, Aries, if this is your situation, is that it is, time to take action, okay? We never know the outcome in life, okay? You're not supposed to know. All right. So sometimes you have to make decisions based off of, two questions. One is, am I happy where I'm at? If the answer is no, then you go to the second question. And the second question is, where would I be happy? Okay. When you get the answer to that one, what more information do you need? So it sounds really, really simple to just think about it that way, because I know a lot of you watching are like, well, what about this? What happens if I hurt this person? What happens if I lose money? What happens if my whole life falls apart? Guess what? What if you do nothing? I can tell you without a doubt, should you do nothing and stay where you're at, then you will continue to experience more of where you're at. Without a doubt. So now you know, if you do nothing, this is the most likely outcome. You're going to continue to feel the way you feel now. So ask yourself, what do you have to lose, okay? If you're not happy with where you're at, then that's kind of your answer, right? But I don't give advice. I'm just telling you, those are the types of things. Those are the types of things that I think are running through your mind right now, that you may be asking yourself, where am I? Where do I want to be? What am I willing to risk? What am I willing to lose? Waiting for the right timing, not realizing that the timing will never be right. Okay? So that's a really strong message. That's group 2. I got a little preachy on you there, Aries. I don't usually do that. Sorry. All right, so not all of you are in that, okay? So group 3. I feel like if you are in a long-term committed relationship where there's not all of this, I feel like there's still concern here. There's still anxiety here. But overall, it's just a message about Aries, don't get stuck into the lack mentality. So if you're in like a somewhat healthy relationship where there is equal give and take and there's movement forward and, it's good, it's normal, things are going okay, then there's just a message here, Aries, about not being so negative, not being so stuck on what you don't have instead of what you do, appreciating what you have, remembering that you once wished for what you now have, finding some balance there. If you, like I said, for a lot of you, this is a long-term relationship where things overall are going pretty well. I think then, continue to focus on developing that relationship. It's going to take work. you're not always going to be happy with your partner, or they you. But I feel like overall, if you're in this group, you're determined to continue to make it work. It's simple as that. So 3 groups of you there. Let me know how it resonated. I have zodiac signs. I have another Aries here. I have lots of pentacles, so Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. I have air, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, and fire, Aries, Leo, Sag. It's pretty much all of them. So focus more on what resonates and not so much the zodiac signs. And I wish you all the best, very, very, very best, Aries. Until next time, namaste.